Welcome to CrossFit Cranbourne's 3 tips to improve your pull-ups. Tip number 1, practice progressions. So if we want to get the ultimate strength gains from doing pull-ups, we need to make sure that we're moving through a full range of motion every time we practice that movement. So many times you see people shortening that rep and doing a bit of a of a pull-up. Maybe it's because you feel like you should be doing them that way, or because other people are doing them that way. You're not going to get the strength gains that you want if you shorten that movement. Shortening the range of your pull-ups causes you to not train the full length of that muscle. So every time we have a bent arm and we pull to halfway, we're not engaging the muscle entirely through our lats, our scaps and our biceps. We're not going to get as strong as we want to. So sometimes this is a matter of coming to the gym and not being overly proud, checking your ego at the door and practicing some progressions so you can move towards a full pull-up and get the full benefit of the movement. The way we always practice a pull-up is we start with our arms at full extension with an overhand grip, and we pull all the way down until our chin reaches above the bar. We don't finish there, we make sure we control all the way back down again till we reach that full extension position. Some really handy progressions include 1, ring rows. Ring rows are great because you can set yourself up on different angles under the ring. So if you're a beginner, you can set up on a nice high angle and work on pulling those rings through. As you get stronger and stronger, you can work your way under those rings. Again, we still want to move full range, so make sure you pull it from a full extension position all the way to your chest for a ring row. Another great progression is a banded pull-up. So you can set yourself up with a thick TheraBand, start as thick as you like, work your way down as you get stronger. You step your foot into the band, keep nice, straight and strong through your midline. Again, start at full extension and pull all the way up. This band's going to support your weight slightly and still get you to move through that full range of motion. If you're training with a partner, you can always get them to help spot you through that movement as well. So that person can stand behind you, hands just under your rib cage, and help press you out through that movement and just give you enough assistance to get you through that pull. Okay, don't make it super easy for them, make it challenging, but you still want them to hold a good position. And finally, the third progression that is a really great progression is to do negatives. So you can set yourself on a box or on a low bar, you jump to get your chin above the bar, and then slowly control your way back down. Practicing the negative movement of a gymnastics exercise is a great way to build up that strength. The slower you go, the better. You can also have it quite short, have a box underneath you, so as you come down through that negative, your feet are touching the floor just slightly, and you're able to give yourself just enough assistance to help build up strength and help move through at a nice steady pace. Tip number 2, practice hollow body holds. So a hollow body hold is a gymnastics term for a really important position that we use for all of our body weighted movements, whether they be pull-ups, handstands, push-ups, toes to bar. All of those movements require the hollow body position. If you want to get the best strength gains out of a strict pull-up, we want to be holding that hollow body position while we move through that motion. The hollow body position helps us stay nice and active through our whole body, so we're nice and tight and strong in every position that we hold. The hollow body position helps activate our shoulders, lats, midline, butt, thighs, everything. What we don't want to see in a pull-up is that big, ugly back arch position where we pull up. Yes, it helps us get our chin over the bar, but no, it doesn't really build the strength in the areas that we should be building strength. So if you can maintain that hollow body position, we're going to be so much more active through our lats and our scaps and our core, and we're going to move nice and effectively through that pull. The back arch position is not a great position because we are totally inactive in our midline and our core. So when we pull, we're going to be putting a lot more stress on our shoulder muscles, probably more stress than we should be able to handle. So how do we do a hollow hold? It's really important that we have a nice curve through our back. So we start by laying on the floor, pull our shoulders off from the floor, trying to close that gap between our hips and our ribs, and then we put our knees up directly above our hips at right angles. If you can hold that position well and keep that curve under your back, that's your first progression. If you're doing this with a partner, you can have somebody just put their hand under your lower back and feel to make sure that there's full contact with your lower back. If there is an arch, we need to work on curving that even more so. If you can handle that progression, say you can hold it for maybe 10 to 20 seconds, your next progression is to then extend one leg. Don't just push your leg out and hold it there. I want you to point nice and strong. So point your toe, squeeze your thigh, squeeze your butt, be nice and straight and strong. If you have a partner, they can try push your leg around a little bit. If your leg's just sitting there floppy and wobbling about, it's not active enough. So point it stronger, point your toe. If they push you down and your torso starts to come up and down and follow your leg, that's what we want. If you can handle that position, make it harder again. Push both legs out. Once you can handle that position, still with that curve back, bring your arms overhead so we're at fully extended levers, nice curve through our back. That's our fully extended hollow body. The most important thing about a hollow body hold is that we don't hold a poor position. If you are arching through the back at any of those positions, you need to come back a progression and hold it correctly. You're not going to get the strength gains, you're not going to build up your core and midline strength if you're arching. Once you've got a good grip on those hollow body holds, you can practice hollow body rocks. Almost the same thing, but this time we're going to start with a little kick to get our body rocking, but then internally move through that rocking motion. At no point do we want our hips to break and bend. We want to maintain that rounded back, and we want to maintain nice, straight, strong positions. Again, you can work your way through those progressions. You can start with the knees tucked, work to one knee extended, two knees extended, and then arms overhead. If you start to lose form, come back through those progressions. Tip number 3, mobilize your shoulders. If you have poor mobility through your shoulders, so you have trouble with extending your arms overhead, or you have a lot of tightness through your upper back and shoulders, we need to do a bit more mobility to, 1, reduce injury, and 2, increase our strength through that pull-up. A lot of people have a lot of tightness through their lats and their subscapular area. Here's a few ways that you can improve your mobility in those areas. Firstly, you can grab yourself a bit of a medium thickness band, throw it up onto a nice high pull-up bar, and pull it through. Put your hand up through the middle of the band, grab on, turn your hand palm facing upwards, and then step back. Push your hips back, push your shoulders down towards the floor, and just let that stretch. Pull open your shoulder joint and pull up through your lats. You can extend that stretch a little bit more by just twisting your hips slightly away from the band. Once you're reasonably mobile and have a good bit of strength in your shoulders, you can take this stretch a little bit further. Get a second band, wrap it around your foot a couple of times, and then put it over your shoulder. Reach up for the overhead band as well, and step back into that same position. That band around your foot over your shoulder is going to pull down through that shoulder joint. The band from the pull-up bar is going to pull up. Another effective way is to get a hard ball, whether it's a lacrosse ball, cricket ball, golf ball, whatever you like. Lacrosse ball is generally the best. Situate yourself against a wall and sit that ball up behind your shoulder joint. Find some tight spots. If you just roll around, you'll find some areas that are relatively tight, and work yourself over that sore muscle. Work it for about 30-40 seconds each side. Do it a couple of times over, and you're going to help really increase some range. You can also set yourself on the floor with the ball and move the ball either in that same position or a little bit further down up into your lat muscle, a little bit lower, and find some sore spots there. Once you've found that sore spot, work your way in different directions over that tight muscle and give it a bit of a massage. So there you have it. There's our 3 tips to improve your pull-up. Tip number 1, and most important one, practice progressions. Don't ever go short range. Let's go full range through those movements. Get yourself strong correctly. Check your ego. Half pull-ups. 1, you look stupid. 2, you're not going to get as strong as you would if you just did full range. Tip 2, practice your hollow body hold. And tip number 3, mobilize your shoulders. Stay tuned, because next week we're going to give you our 3 tips to improve your kipping pull-up. Haters, be ready for that one. Kipping pull-ups are great. We'll go over that in further detail when we get there. I'll clarify a few things for you next week. Bye.